Hi guys, Sean here at Go Big Bore, Go Home. Wanted to bring up a topic today, and that would be the topic of my Ruger Super Blackhawk chambered in 480. It's the 5-shot distributor's exclusive from Lipsey's that has a 6.5-inch barrel. And what I want to talk about is, where is it? Well, it's not with us anymore at the at the channel. Here's what happened. That firearm, after about 6 months of shooting, the front sight started to get canted to the right. So if you're looking, if you're holding it and looking down the sights, what you'd see was, here's your rear sight and your front sight should be top dead center, and it was canted. So much so that it was really noticeable. And I called up Ruger and they said, no problem, send it in, we'll fix it. Kind of what I've come to expect from Ruger. I've had some issues before that were, shall we say, needing warranty attention, and they always step up to the plate. I got it back a couple weeks later and I looked down the front sight and it still seemed a little off to me. So I said, maybe it's just me, I'll take it to the range. I held on to it for a couple of months and tried to make peace with it, and I couldn't do it, and I called them back and I said, you know what, I've sent this in, but it's not fixed. I'm sorry. I've tried taking it to the range, it's still canted. Sent it down, and they even had the tech who was working on it call me. They were really good about it, and they said, sorry, we replaced the barrel, we made sure the sight's on straight, I had someone check it with me, should be fine. It comes back to me. I pull it out of the box, and to my dismay, it's still canted to the right. It's better, but it's still canted to the right. So the next day I called them up and I was upset. I said, I've sent it in twice now. This is ridiculous. You guys have had 2 shots at this. I want it fixed. So I sent it in for a 3rd time, and when it came back to me the 3rd time, I pulled it out and it still looked a little off to me. And to be sure, I pulled out my 44 Magnum Super Blackhawk. So it's Ruger, similar frame, basically the same gun, just different chambering. And again, when I looked down, the 44 Magnum, top dead center, perfect, couldn't ask for better. 480, slightly canted to the right. So I kind of had it. I called them up and I said, I've sent this in 3 times, it's still not fixed. I'm really upset, why do I have to go through this? And they absolutely agreed. They escalated my issue to a manager who worked with me from that day forward, just me and her professionalism was exceptional. She was very good, and she said, before I offer you anything, would you allow me to talk to my managers? Because clearly you're very unhappy and you've tried to work with us and we still aren't making you happy. Would you give me some time? So she called me later that day and said, okay, here's the deal. If you'd like us to take a 4th shot at fixing it, we will. If you'd like us to replace it, we will. If you'd like to replace it with any other Ruger firearm, as long as it's in the same price point, we will. And if at the end of the day you'd like a refund, we'll do that too. What would you like to do? At that point I told her, I said, I'm just kind of tired of the firearm being repeatedly fixed. How about a Ruger Super Redhawk in 480? Because I like the cartridge. No problem, we'll send you one. So she said, we're going to build it, we're going to inspect it, we're going to send it out. So a couple weeks go by, I go to my local gun store where it gets delivered, and I pick it up, and it looks beautiful. It looks like they really did go over it, very, very specific. I take it down the range, shoots accurate, it's comfortable. Although, for anybody who's curious, the Super Redhawk grip versus the Bisley grip handles the handles the recoil better. Trust me, I now know. But as soon as I went to extract my cases, they would stick really bad. I thought it might be hand loads. Bought a box of 480 Ruger from Hornady, and I'll kind of show you here real quick a clip where you can see where they stick. Okay, so as you see, even with the stock factory ammo, and I had cleaned the gun beforehand, it would stick and it wouldn't come out. I sent it in, I sent them the video, and I got a call back from the manager, and I could tell from her tone of voice when she called me that something's wrong, because she's like, well, I want to, first of all, thank you for making the video so we could exactly see the problem. I gave it to the tech, I gave him the information that you had provided me. He took it down to the range, he put 40 rounds through it, and every single case just fell out of the cylinder. So he couldn't repeat the problem. Now, this is the same old thing, like, when you bring your car to the mechanic. Well, it's making a funny noise. It gets to the mechanic, it stops doing it. Same thing here. So she said, I don't know what to tell you. I'm very sorry. What would you like to do at this point? And at first I was like, why don't we just do another Bisley? And I hung up the phone, and I called her back and I said, you know, I'm thinking about it. We've had enough trouble with this. And I told her, I said, you've been really helpful. You've been excellent. I have no complaints with how you've handled this, but for whatever reason, we've just had a bad round with this one. I think it's time, let's call it a day and go refund. Because I think if we make a new Bisley or I get another Super Redhawk and there's an issue, we're both just going to pull our hair out. And she kind of chuckled and said, you know, I think you're right. I'll expedite this so we can get you that refund quicker than we usually do. Because normally it's a 4 to 6 week process. And sure enough, Ruger came through on that too. They got it to me in a few weeks. So even though I had a bad experience with this particular firearm and the replacement, I want to be 100% fair to Ruger. They never once dropped the ball on customer service, and they treated me very, very well. As a customer, it was very clear my business was very valuable to them. And at the end of the day, when we couldn't make it work, they refunded my money. As a customer, you really can't ask for more than that. They even refunded the ammunition that I paid for to test it. So Ruger really did a top-notch job, but at the end of the day, I just decided to call it a day. That said, I still had all this 480 Ruger stuff and 475 caliber bullets, so I decided, well, let's go to Magnum Research since I like my 500 JRH, and I ordered a 475 line ball BFR, and I've had that now, I think since December of 2016, and it's been great. I'm going to put a video up for you guys on that one so you can see it. But yeah, unfortunately the Bisley's gone. Really is a shame. It was a beautiful revolver. It was an accurate revolver. This is a fun revolver. And I don't want to discourage anybody from getting one. I just happened to have drawn the short straw when it came to the lot that mine came from. So that's what happened, guys. But like I said, just thought you guys would be curious. Anyways, talk to you next time. Go big bore or go home.